Imagine waking up to a world where the US dollar is no longer the king of global trade. Sounds impossible, right? Well, that reality is closer than you think. A powerful alliance of 11 nations has decided to ditch the dollar for cross-border transactions, shaking the global financial system to its core. But why? And what does this mean for the future of global trade? Let's dive in. The US dollar has long been one of the most dominant currencies in the world. It serves as the primary reserve currency for many central banks, ensuring liquidity and economic stability. Many global transactions, especially in vital industries like oil and commodities, are conducted in US dollars, making it an essential part of international trade. However, recent developments suggest a major shift in the financial landscape. Several nations have decided to reduce their reliance on the dollar in international business. This movement, known as de-dollarization, gained momentum after the United States imposed sanctions on Russia due to the ongoing conflict with Ukraine. The decision was officially made during the Commonwealth of Independent States CIS summit in early January. Leaders from 11 countries signed an agreement to create a new financial system that prioritizes local currencies over the US dollar. The CIS nations making this historic move include Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Moldova, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Georgia, formerly part of CIS but still economically linked. So, why are these countries making such a bold move? There are three key reasons. 1. Strengthening their own currencies. Relying on the US dollar makes their economies vulnerable to US monetary policies and currency fluctuations. 2. Reducing foreign control. Moving away from the dollar gives them greater economic independence and reduces US influence over their markets. 3. Enhancing regional trade. By trading in local currencies, these countries can boost regional economies and strengthen their financial ties. This de-dollarization movement is a major shake-up in the global economy. It signals a shift in power, where nations are looking for alternatives to the US dollar's dominance. Will more countries follow this trend? And how will the US respond to this challenge? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget.
Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Shatar. You're here at Chicago Branch, Great Millstone, prophesizing the return of the Heavenly Father Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai. You all ignorantly call him Jesus, but his true and Hebrew name is Yahweh Shai. Coming at you with another lesson. Before we get started, we're going to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders here at Great Millstone who rule well. Honors to the hopeful elect. The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the biblical and true Hebrews of the Bible. Salutation to all the Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity. The speckled bird, and all those whose lineage goes back to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, healthy Barakatah. And to the Akwaf, and those of you out there listening and learning, Shalom and Barakatah to you also. Well, this is part 2 of Buy Dollar. Part 2 of Buy Dollar. As you stated, as you've seen part 1 of the lesson, just a brief summary, a recap. 11 nations have formed a powerful alliance, shaking the global financial system to its core, ditching the dollar, and using cross-trade transactions or cross-border transactions. This cross-border transaction is when a buy or sell order is matched without transactions being posted on the exchange or the market, okay? And this is what these 11 nations have done, all right? Let's go here, all right? Obadiah 1, and we'll start at 6, okay? Obadiah 1 and 6, it says, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And we all know that's through the prophets, okay? That's through the spirit of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, resting his spirit on his prophets, those who speak on his behalf, okay? Those who put in this work for him, all right? There's several. Let me get you a scripture on that one real quick, and we'll jump right back in this Obadiah. Let's go to Hosea. Let's grab Hosea, okay? And we want Hosea 12. And we want Hosea 12 and 10, okay? And it says, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions. He's given visions. That's how the Lord comes to you, okay, in a vision or a dream. That's how he comes to his prophets. He reveals things to them, and it's sealed in their sleep also, okay? I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets, okay? So that right there lets you know Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai speaks through his prophets. Amos 3 and 7, the Lord will do nothing, but surely he revealeth his secrets to the prophets, okay? So that's how the things of Esau is sought out, right? Through the spirit of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, resting his spirit on his prophets who speak on his behalf and do his bidding, all right? Let's jump right back into this Obadiah, okay? Obadiah 1, okay? And we're going to start at 6 again. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And I just told you that, okay? Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy, see these 11 nations that I'm telling you about in these other nations, because there's a lot of them in that brick nations, okay? This is just to name a few. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, okay? The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him, okay? So all these nations have deceived Babylon, aka America. They have brought up America, mainly China, okay, who owns 384,000 acres of Babylon, aka American soil. And on top of that, they own land near an Air Force base, okay? They own land near an Air Force base in North Dakota. See, America is the hub, all right? Okay, Israel, America is the hub. And this is where all these heathen nations come and make their fortunes. But they are turning on Babylon, aka America now. And that's going into the beast, starting to hate the whore. But that's another lesson in itself, okay? We'll stay right here in this lesson, okay? And this place is being brought down, okay? I think I gave you that Isaiah 14 and 11, that worm up under them. Okay, and you can blame it on the stock market. You can blame it on many different things, but after it's all said and done, you know, we've had almost 200 tornadoes. We've had mudslides. We've had flooding. We've had hailstorms ever since the Passover when that blood moon came up. So this is just Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai bringing this place down, okay? Matter of fact, let's recap that and get that Isaiah, okay? Let's get that Isaiah 14. And if you read this chapter, Israel, this chapter goes into how he's bringing this man down, bringing Esau, Edom down, bringing his kingdom down to nothing, okay? To nothing. But let's get this Isaiah 14 and 11, okay? This Isaiah 14 and 11, and it says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The womb is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee, okay? And that's going into that decay, the corrosion of Babylon, aka America. And that's twofold also, okay? Not just with their infrastructure, their roads, their bridges, okay, their streets, their infrastructure is decaying also, but this is also being going into as a witness against how they got these riches, all right? What they did, to get these riches, the unrighteous dealings that they did, the deceitful nature that they had to get them, okay? And I think that's Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous, let's grab it. We don't have to butcher it, okay? Let's grab it. Let's grab it real quick, all right? We ain't got to butcher it. Let's grab it real quick. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And that's what we're seeing, the downfall, the decay, the deterioration of this present day evil world, or should I say temporal, because it's slated for destruction. And that's what this is going into. Let's jump right back in that Isaiah. Okay, give me that Isaiah. And give me Isaiah 14 and 11 again. And it says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of the vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. And when you see worms all over something, it's decaying. It's corrosion. It's eroding, okay? And that's America. And again, that's going into the infrastructure, the roads, the bridges, the streets, etc. All right. But it will be a witness against them. OK, how, as to how they got these riches. All right. That, you got the riches by unrighteous dealings. I just gave you Sirach 10 and 8. Because of riches gotten by deceit, injuries, and unrighteous dealings, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Roughly paraphrasing. OK, and that's that witness against them. All right. That's what's happening, that corrosion, okay? This will be a witness against Esau, Edom, a witness against Babylon, aka America. And the Lord's bringing this, whole cancerous system down. He's bringing it down to nothing, all right? Okay. But we just named those 11 powerful nations. And again, as I stated at the top of the lesson, the BRIC nations is way more than 11. It's quite a few of them, Israel, okay? And we'll talk about that when we do Buy Dollar Part 3, the conclusion, where we dot all the I's and cross all the T's and give you the full drawing, the full measure of what's going on, okay? All right, and that's what we're doing because Lord will we be them men, and he's rested his spirit on us, and we're telling you what's coming through the pipeline, all right? The dollar is Buy Dollar. And that's making way for the digital currency, which is about to come into play. He's laying the foundation for that. And all roads lead to the RFD chip. We're going to talk about that in Buy Dollar Part 3, the conclusion, where we dot the I's and cross the T's and go in depth and into detail about what's really going on, okay? But let's go here and get ready to close. I said this was going to be a short lesson. Lord will, it'll be edifying through the Spirit as well. Okay, Jeremiah 51, and we'll close. Okay, Jeremiah 51, okay, and 7. And it says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. And that's what this place has been. The Lord has been holding this place up till he's ready to destroy it, all right? Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. And again, I told you at the top of the lesson, that's going into the beast hating the whore. That's another lesson in itself. Let's keep it right here in the here and now, okay? And that wine is that debt, okay? That debt. Talks about that in the statue in Daniel, the book of Daniel, that murky clay, that debt. But it also goes that wine is their philosophies and their principles as well. Okay, that wine, their philosophies, their principles, this whole cancerous system. All right, that wine. They've drunken of it and they're mad, all right? But all these nations hold U.S. currency and they went in debt messing with America, all right? That's what this is all about. De-dollarization. And they're trading off dollars left and right. Many nations are, because the dollar is about to be buy dollar, okay? And that wine, that's what that's going into. Of course, their philosophies and their principles, but that debt, okay? All these nations hold U.S. currency and they ditching these dollars, all right? Ditch the dollar, buy dollar, okay? And more will be revealed. That's all I have right now, but stay tuned. Buy Dollar Part 3 will be much more informative, and we're going to dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and we're going to go in depth and in detail exactly and break everything down where you have the full measure. But Lord will, this lesson was edifying through the Spirit. In closing, I'd like to say Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash Barakatah, Abba Babo.